Hello and welcome! This is Mouse Gunner, and I have a brand new series for you guys covering Earth Defense Force 4.1. Now, this is a game I saw come out on Steam recently, and it looked like it was right up my alley, the kind of game I'd play in years past and really enjoy. But I wasn't so sure of the quality of the game, so I kind of waited around a little bit. I saw Steam reviews come out, and they were very positive. I heard some good things about it, so I thought I'd jump into it, and so far I've been really enjoying myself. So, I've gone through the first 9 missions of the game, and I have been toying with us on whether I'd start a new profile for this series or just use the one I have. And really honestly, the way the game works, I don't think there's really a detrimental effect of me using my old profile. The only real thing that I have going for me is I have the weapons and armor that I've unlocked over time. Now, getting into the game, pretty much the way the game works is you have 4 classes to choose from. Now, there's going to probably be voice acting while I show you the 4 classes, but the one I have selected right now is the Wing Diver. There are 3 other classes, a Ranger, an Air Raider, and a Fencer. Now, the Ranger is like your basic infantry and is one of the simpler units in the game. And a lot of the early missions, you feel like it's designed around the Ranger. The Wing Diver is more of a mobile infantry that uses a jetpack to get around the battlefield, but you have less armor. But you also have some more interesting weapons, very much energy-based, as opposed to the Ranger, who has weapons that are more ballistic or missile-oriented. Then you have the Air Raider, which is your support class. This class, now you can play in a co-op mode, and this is a class that probably works at the fullest of its ability in that co-op mode. But the kind of weapons you have, well, actually, honestly, starting off, and I only really have a couple weapons to choose from, which is mostly this weapon where you shoot out mines and then you can set them off. That's pretty much the only weapon you get. The rest is a lot of support abilities. And it's kind of weird how it works, but you have artillery strikes, you have vehicles that you can deploy and ride around in. So it's kind of an interesting class, but it's one of the more difficult classes to play as, especially in the solo mode, which is what I'm going to be playing as. And then you have the Fencer, which is your heavy infantry. And this soldier has the most armor out of the bunch, and also can carry the most weapons into the battle. You can have a total of 4 weapons with the Fencer, whereas most of the other classes you can only have 2, except for the Air Raider, which has 2 weapons, and then the vehicle you can drop in. So I'm going to start off with the Wing Diver, as the early missions I feel like the Wing Diver is more suited for. Now, what I'm going to do in this playthrough, I've already completed the first 9 missions. I'm going to go through those 9 missions again. But as I go through, I'm only going to pick one class, and I'm going to pick the class that I think best suits that mission. Now, once I get into missions I haven't really played, I'm going to have to make a guess on that. And then, once I've completed that mission, I'll probably go back with the other classes and off-camera complete that mission, because as you go through the game, you get weapon unlocks. And I'm going to go ahead and show you the equipment that I have now. So, the weapon I'm using right now, the Idun A, I'm assuming that's how you pronounce the weapon. If that's not how you pronounce the weapon, oh well, that's how I'm going to pronounce it. The Idun A is a changed lightning gun. And how this works is it's a decent range overall. You got about 100 meters plus that it will affect. But it hits the target you're shooting, as well as have a chain effect, jumping from target to target. And I'm using this weapon because in the first mission you have a lot of swarm attacks. I want to see how effective it is in a swarm attacks, because in other missions I've used it in, there wasn't as much swarming attacks, and I haven't really been able to see how well the chain effect works, so that's why I'm using it. The weapon you start off with, though, with the Air Raider, I just forgot, Wing Diver, yes, Wing Diver, is the rapier here, which is actually a very effective weapon, especially for swarming, although it's extremely close range at 30 meters, but very effective. As a matter of fact, I would, if I wasn't using the Idun A, I'd be using the rapier for sure. The other weapon I'm using is the plasma launcher here, which is an upgraded version of the previous plasma launcher, which is your other starting weapon. And this pretty much is like a energy projecting grenade launcher, for the best way of describing it. So let's go ahead and jump into things. I've described what weapons I'm going to be using, and start off the first mission.
Select to deploy.
I'm going to be playing in normal difficulty. I have tried out harder difficulty, but because I'll be playing missions...
Special news flash. We are broadcasting to you live from the scene. What in the world? Wait! People are being attacked by giant insects! Thought to have been exterminated 7 years ago, the insects actually survived! Stop it! Let me go! Let me go! Help me! Stop it! Let me go!
Anyway, as I was saying, because I'm going to be playing missions eventually that I haven't played, I think normal difficulty is the best mode, at least for me, to have fun. The whole point of this game, in my opinion, is to have fun and not take it too seriously. Alright, so we have to fight giant insects, which are, in this mission, giant ants. And this is the plasma launcher. Now, the way the plasma launcher works, if you look in the lower right corner, I have the plasma launcher itself, and then I have something that looks like a set of wings. Now that's my jump pack. As I jump around, I'll deplete that fuel. The plasma launcher works off of that fuel as well. But if I switch to my lightning gun, the lightning gun has a separate ammo to the jetpack. But when I reload it, it will take energy from that jetpack. That's pretty much how the wing diver works, is you have a lot of energy projecting weapons that work off of the jetpack's fuel. Although you do have some weapons that kind of work like they have ammo. They do charge off of the pack. Now, as you kill things, they will drop these pickups. Now, some are just health to heal you during the mission, but the armor pickups will give you max health for future missions, and these weapon pickups will give you further weapon unlocks. Now, because this is an early mission, I'm unlikely to unlock anything that I don't already have. So, the weapon unlocks are not going to really matter. Now, another thing you can see here is I can be hit by my own area effect weapons and be hurt, so I have to be mindful of that.
Report the situation. We engaged with giant insects and defeated a number of them. What did you say? That's impossible. Let's go. Yes, sir.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and collect the armor. Now, I do get benefits from the armor, as I was discussing, because it will give me max health. And we'll see that at the end of the mission. Alright. Now, I'm probably not going to get every single pickup there is, because I'm going to focus on the mission.
Some must have survived, hiding out for 7 years. This is the kind of day we live for.
Alright, so my jetpack is depleted, so I have to wait for it to recharge before I can use it again. Now, this starting mission is actually relatively hard for the first mission in the game. There's actually later missions that are a little bit easier.
All right, we got tanks.
Oh.
Infantry, stay close to the armor.
Ain't nobody getting past
All right.
these babies.
You heard the man.
I'm ready for
And a lot of the gameplay works in kind of waves. You have a wave of insects attack you,
Where were these guys hiding all that
you kill all of them, and then you get the next wave.
nation was a lie.
They were lurking underground. So were we living above them the whole time?
And you may be able to also see there's quite a lot of terrain destruction in this game. And this can be everything from knocking entire buildings down, which sometimes you'll do just because you can't get at the enemies. Like if you're the ranger, you don't have a jetpack that can make you fly around. So if there's an insect somewhere where you can't get to them, maybe you just knock down the building to get to the insect. So sometimes that works for you. Alright, so here comes the big wave that makes this mission kind of difficult.
There's nothing to fear. Let's exterminate them.
Yes, sir!
Keep the giant creatures away from the tanks.
Alright, so we're just gonna kind of keep an eye on our jet pack fuel so we don't overdo it. Alright, now this is where we get to see the lightning gun and how well it deals with swarms. Alright, we ran out of jetpack fuel. We're gonna have to be patient. I also have to be mindful I can't hit my allies with my weapons. Now, there's no really penalty to doing that other than they just die on you, but... Alright, there's only a couple left. There you go, some terrain destruction. And there's the mission clear. Now, this is the one problem with the mission clears. You then have to jump around and get all the pickups you can before the mission ends, because that's it. Alright, so these are all the weapons I picked up. But you'll note, if it doesn't say new, that means that I didn't get anything that I didn't already have. So although I did get a lot of weapon pickups, because this is a lower level, I'm not going to get anything really new. I did get some armor, though, as we can see here. So there is some benefit of playing these older missions for me, but none in as far as weapon unlocks go. So there's the end of that mission, and I can see, I believe... Actually, I don't know if that actually did add into my armor at all. I'm not actually sure 100% how the... There we go. We just needed to equip it. So now we have 167 armor. So I gained a little bit of health there. In any case, this is going to wrap up the beginning of my series covering EDF. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is Mouse Gunner, signing out.